Smart, tough, accountable football. You got to see it to believe it, man. Guys, that's what the analytics say. What did you read what Emmanuel Acho said?
He and a host of others now, because, of course, I click on one of them on social media, so that's all I'm being fed.
Yeah.
But Acho said the Browns' 2-point conversion was actually a brilliant play design. And then he did a whole minute and a half breakdown.
Excellent.
It was wide open. I mean, if he pitches that ball, it is a definite conversion.
Beef Wellington would look great, but if I give you old pencil shavings to make it, is it going to taste as good? The designs aren't the problem.
But the guy that's supposed to pitch the ball, you asked if...
He didn't pitch the ball.
Yeah, he just didn't pitch the ball.
Didn't pitch the ball.
Like, isn't that just on Judkins?
Who the hell knows or cares anymore?
It appeared so, yes. It looked like he went, oh, crap.
You rarely see that,
I forgot
by
to
the
do
way.
Gage Lardan's looking back like, hello, yo. Was he not looking at him as they passed
and it was
by?
blocked up
like
so
two
well.
ships in the night, right along Lake Erie. Hello.
Like
What did they say to each other as they passed each other? What was the look in their eyes? One man went one way, the other guy went the other way, and they looked at each other and said, I loved you in Wall Street. What on earth was the mix-up? What on earth could have been the mix-up? Yes, it was drawn up. And yes, I know, I probably would have thought different had it worked out. Still Gage Larvadan running a reverse, because it probably would have been Malachi Corley, except Malachi Corley got himself a concussion. Like, you got to think about the people that are doing it. There's so many different play calls and so many different great plays. You're going, hey, that's a great play to run. And then you realize, oh, wait a minute, I don't have it. It's not A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts out there. It's Quinshon Judkins and Wildcat and Gage Larvadan.
I just can't
Maybe we
believe...
should just kick the field goals.
I cannot believe. You rarely see this in the NFL where, yes, they have so many pages and pages and pages and on their wrists, on their forearms, they've got all these plays. And then, they get talked to in their headsets, or at least the quarterback, and then they can relay the information. You rarely see one of the main guys on a play like that not do what he's supposed to do. Like, you see guys lined up wrong. Yeah, that happens from time to time. But, like, Judkins comes out of the huddle. He knows that's the play, right? Or did he not even understand from the moment they broke the huddle what the play was?
I don't know.
I don't know. They asked Kev. You want to hear Kev?
Yeah, ask Kev.
What's supposed to happen on that last 2-point conversion?
Yeah, not going to get into all the specifics, Jeff, but obviously did not go as we thought it would.
Did you make that call or did Tommy?
Yeah, I make every call.
Shedeur had the hot hand. Why would you take him off?
Yeah, it's a 2-point play. Didn't come through on our first 2-point play. Got to the second 2-point play. We didn't come through, but that's on me.
What was that play call yours or Tommy's?
I'm responsible for all of it.
Kevin, on the first one, just I guess what prompted wanting to go forward in that scenario?
Yeah, it's a scenario that we talk about a lot. That's something that when you're down 14, feel good about the decision there. Didn't come through.
I didn't feel good about the decision. I had a feeling it wasn't going to go our way, and then it really didn't go our way. And they almost let him get ran back for 2. That was almost...
Why wasn't he allowed to do that?
It was almost delicious.
Why is that play dead? Why was that whistle dead? Because that would have been a 2-possession game if he...
Which one? The kid who ran it back?
Yeah.
Gray?
Yeah.
No, I think he just ran out of steam.
No,
Didn't he just run out of steam?
He didn't get tackled. Eventually, they just stopped.
No, he got tackled.
Yeah, Blake Whiteheart.
Yeah, Blake Whiteheart came down there and tackled him.
He just stopped running, though. I thought he heard a whistle or something.
I know, and I think the TV... I had Nathan and Andrew live, and they were like, why did he just stop? I don't think there was any whistle. I don't think there was any whistle.
He would, if he was that tired, he would just given the ball to somebody. Like what? He had like 3 guys
Nathan
right next to him.
and Andrew wondered why he didn't lateral it to somebody.
I think we're really getting too in the weeds on a 1-11 or a 1-10
well,
team, 1-11 team
today.
versus a 2-10 team.
That's the whole show today.
And why do things happen?
And we're 3-10. But as angry as I am, and I mean I'm obviously angry, and you got me into a good lather. I am very happy Shedeur played well. I'm really excited that Shedeur played well. I'm not yet ready to change future plans, depending on how they fall. But man, I'm pretty excited he played well. I thought there was real growth there yesterday.
I did too.
And I know that you're playing a fart of a team, but you are also a fart of a team because you lost to them. And while there was a major mistake, he's a rookie. Rookies are going to make some major mistakes. They came back from 14 down. You took him off the field for the one play that could have been a 2-point conversion. There's not a chance in hell Dylan Gabriel's bringing you back from 14 down. No way.
Not against Tennessee?
No, not even against Tennessee, Anthony.
That's what the haters for Shedeur will say.
Nah, they're full of it. Then you guys have dove too far into the online fights with the people online, which are mostly bots. Guys, mostly, I just mute them. They're mostly bots. I mean, I'm sure there are some very strong Shedeur fans who tell you to, do terrible things to yourself and tell you to go walk into traffic or whatever Lima's inboxes are saying anymore. But yeah, I'm assuming it's not real, and most of them are bots, and I'm not going to dive into that crap. It's not going to happen. So I'm not going to hear of it. I'm not going to do it. All I know is I saw a quarterback play well, and if you've been worked that much into a shoot, you have to understand that the quarterback played well. Dylan Gabriel ain't bringing you back from that. No. I'd rather play with 10 than with Dylan Gabriel for the rest of the year. 216-474-0092. So that wasn't happening yesterday with that guy.
I thought without a doubt, it was awesome to see. You said growth, like the stuff he was doing in the pocket, and his man. I'll tell you, for the throws, he had these amazing throws, no doubt, and that's the arm talent that you would be blind not to have raved about, because that was apparent on his college tape. That stuff was all there, but his ability. One of the things I was worried about, I'll say it, I didn't make a huge deal about it, was his frame. I mean, if you look, there's not a lot of muscle on that body. There's, quarterbacks are built in different ways, and, when you're comparing guys to, like, Josh Allen, it's hard for anybody. There's only one Josh Allen in that league. But you wonder, somebody playing the game like he does, at times reckless, at times trying to buy time, but, yesterday had his eyes down the field. Like, he did not take his eyes down at any point, so he was allowing guys to continue to run and maybe get open. Had some smart throwaways to avoid damage. Had some titanic mistakes, no doubt. The interception was as bad as you'll see in the NFL, and had a bunch of throwaways too that when they look at the film, what normally happens is people are like, oh no, he was just late, guys were open, whatever, we'll see. I was amazed at his ability to take those hits and get right back up, because he also caused a lot of hits because he's holding on to the ball so long, and once those pats start, I thought Schlereth was on it about the patting of the football. That was some of the bad habits. Those were some of the bad habits he had in college, and he'll have an offseason to try to work on that.
Well, when you're down 2 scores, like the one, I thought that maybe he's trying to, obviously the one he was trying to do too much on the one pick. And then I thought he almost got into a rhythm of trying to do too much. And then there was a just go down the field. And when he started to do that, it's like, okay, this is someone who's working. And I go back to the third quarter where they ended up having a punt, but he steps up in the pocket, he goes right. And it was like, all right, he's climbing the pocket. That's great. And then Nathan, it's because you can't see it on the TV broadcast. You can see it now on the All-22. He steps in the pocket. He rolls to his right. And Nathan had said on the broadcast, the routes are to the left, but this is something that's going to come with more time. It'll come with more time. But he climbs the pocket. So there is a thing where he's able to learn quickly. He's able to process it quickly. He's able to break those bad habits quickly, which is very tough to do. It's easy when guys are running around with broomsticks and you're wearing a T-shirt and shorts out there in the practice field. It's different when you actually have Jeremy Simmons coming for your head, okay? And when he's able to step up, climb, and I know he rolled out to the right, ended up being a throwaway, which was the right decision because, they were right. Everything was to the left. That's still, to me, that's still growth. That's still growth. And that's coming off of, some toughness there, some things that didn't go very well. I thought that he played. There were a couple times where he was remarkable. There were a couple times where I was wondering, okay, what are we exactly getting here? And then when they're able to come back in the end, like I look at it and I go, it wasn't like it was some baby 5th rounder playing. That was a legitimate performance by him. And I as angry as I am over really this is the culmination of 6 years bubbling up now. That's what this is becoming. I also want to give proper credit where it's due because he's a rookie. And you're going to have a major decision to make. And you got 4 more games now, and I don't know what's going to happen over those 4 games, so I'm going to give credit where it's due. Because there is an opening of a window there going, well, maybe we could. Maybe we could with this young man. Maybe he really has something that's just more than just jerseys and talk show fodder. Maybe we can entertain this conversation here. That's what I want to do. Anybody who knows us knows it's exactly what I want. I'm not just interested, do I want to put on an entertaining show? Fine. But I'm not just going to sit here in the gutter and throw rocks at each other over any 5th-round pick. That wasn't what a 5th-round pick does yesterday. Let them back down the field. They had themselves a chance to tie it. They didn't make the best decisions on those play calls because, again, I look at the sum of your parts, not exactly the overall outcome. And I still thought he did a very, very, very fine job. I was very impressed by him yesterday. And I think a lot of people should have been impressed by him. If you weren't, I think you're fighting the fight too much online.
He opened up my mind because I did not expect him to be able to just keep on going after them. I know he's the reason they were down. Well, that and the block punt. He's the reason they got down 2 scores to the worst team in football, which now it might be us. I don't know. But the fact that he absorbed those hits, he kept on coming, he kept his confidence. That guy's confidence is never going to waver. And that you kind of have to be delusional at times to play quarterback in the NFL. And now the fact that we're even talking about a scenario where he could buy a real evaluation here down the stretch of the last 4 games against playoff teams. 3 teams are playoff teams or fighting for their playoff lives. He earned that. We talked earlier about you got to earn stuff. He earned that, and so I thought that was awesome.
It's a Monday after a bad loss to a bad football team, so obviously I'm going to be a little prickly about it. But